Alright, here we go. Okay, hello everyone and welcome to our Project Terra Gamedev stream. I'm Luxen, aka Felix, and with me in the voice chat are Geflüge, aka Henne, and Flora, aka Teflora, now in reverse order.
Hi.
What?
Usually I always
And
say
I
the
have-
nickname first, but this time I said the
See.
name first
Oh.
because...
Oh,
I have
well,
something for you.
change.
Hmm?
Here we go.
Oh. We got a subscription by Teflora. Do we also get the notification? No? What is this? Here we go. With the nice fancy white borders, and we are graphic design experts. It's our passion, guys. No, like our notification thing was broken for some time. I just logged back into the service, this TP stream service, and now they're working, but for whatever reason, now the images are broken. So sorry about that, but at least we got the sound, so I guess that helps. We got a couple of messages already. So just talking about the basics first. So here at Radical Fish Games, we stream game development of our games, and afterwards we used to do drawings, but not today. In fact, today will be a rather short stream, unfortunately, because there's several reasons, but mostly I don't want to go to bed too late today. So I'll probably about 2 hours or 2.5 hours, that's I would estimate. But while we are streaming, you always feel free to ask questions in the chat, and if you want to make sure that we read the question, don't miss it. It helps to write at Radical Fish Games or at Geflügel, so we kind of like get a notification, and that makes it easier for us to spot the question. Yeah. So let me see if there's anything already. Xiaolin says, hello Radical Fish, first time catching your stream, and I just played Crosscode for the first time this year and really enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing your next game. Thank you very much. Yes, so we can show off a little bit our next project, Project Terra. That's usually what we do in the beginning. Yeah, that's also what we will be working on today.
By the way, I'm really sad because you didn't read my subscription message.
Oh, I didn't. Whoa. Okay. Finally, the 40 is free. 40. Oh, wow. The 40 is 43. Yeah, okay. It's yeah, okay. I get it. Nice. 43. 40 is free. Nice. Yes, I have to learn to read those messages.
Actually, I just thought of something. I'm gonna add some highlight words, so I can see highlighted messages when they add Radical Fish Games and stuff.
I mean, I do have something here configured actually that lists the highlighted messages. That's why I have a second display here. I just have to look at it. Like it's, like, especially later in the streams, I just tend to forget about it, and I just keep working on stuff, keep talking about stuff. Also, before I forget it, we actually have music. I was just thinking, I was too silent here. Let's resume our music. So, also Stefan is here. Hello, Stefan.
Hello.
Stefan, aka Ratcheten, joined the stream.
Oh, it's me.
It's Dusty Duster says, is it the Radical Fish Games who made the critically acclaimed RPG Crosscode that has a free demo up to level 60, including the A New Home expansion?
What?
Indeed it is.
A free demo? What?
Yes, we have
a free demo up to level 60.
We also have a paid demo.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Hello, Stefan.
60.
Hi. Welcome. Nice to see you or hear you.
Hello.
How's the Project Bob going?
Mediocre.
Okay.
Could be better.
Yeah, it's unfortunately on hold again now that we are back at Project Terra development. That's right.
I keep telling Felix it's not a good idea. We should keep working on Project Bob, but he insists.
We got the funding for Terra now, so we have to focus on that, unfortunately. But maybe there will be a return of Bob later. Okay. Also, Jack Crosscode de Morant is here saying red fish carrying Sunday today. Yes, I guess. Also, since he's here, maybe I can give a small shout out here as well. There's currently a Crosscode soundtrack tournament happening. Let me just send out the link of the current voting formula. So essentially people can just vote what song wins against the other song, and then at the end we will get to know the best song of the Crosscode soundtrack, I guess. So here, posted it here. So everybody feel free to give your vote. And yeah, that's probably what I wanted to mention. And yes, today I will be working on barriers. So as Hen already said before the stream, our game will not be entirely barrier free, right? Because
Yes, there will be barriers.
there will be barriers in our
literal
game.
sense.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we just got another question by Golden Frying Pan. Have the big lines of the story of Project Terra have already been thought out? And will it be in the same universe as Crosscode or not at all? Sorry if the question has been already asked 50 times. Not quite, I think. But as for in the same universe, I think we will simply not answer that. I'm not sure. At least we will keep it vague.
Which
Like-
means in the game we will not answer.
Yeah, we can at least in the game, the connection will not be quite there. But apart from that,
All our games are part of the cinematic Radical Fish universe.
yeah, it's
Obviously.
perfectly planned out. But as for how big everything is planned out, I think it's already way more planned out than it was with Crosscode at this point. So in fact the story is already in a pretty solid state overall, I think. So we actually have a pretty good idea of what happens. And we also kind of like, there's certain things we are kind of like more careful about this time. In particular pacing, like making sure that more interesting things happen frequently in the story, so you don't have long breaks, like for instance like the Gaia's Garden in Crosscode, where you had like a lot of gameplay, dungeons and all that, while not having any major story updates. So we wanted to avoid this kind of situation with Project Terra, and at least I think it looks good so far. But yeah, we don't want to talk too much about details here, obviously. Okay, anything else here? A streamer friend of mine is currently in the William Dungeon after I recommended Crosscode to him. Awesome game. Thanks for recommending. That's okay.
We got a subscription by Bill Fork 34 with Prime. Bill without the 4 and 3-4 is the did you know that you can subscribe to us with Twitch Prime and it doesn't even cost you a cent and we still get money from it?
That's right.
And you get Twitch Prime without paying for it, just by having Amazon Prime. That's pretty neat. That's saying. That's something you would do in theory.
So here's a
Xiaolin.
question. Yeah, okay, I just wanted
Okay.
to read that question, but you can read it.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay. Do you expect Project Terra to be roughly the same length gameplay-wise as Crosscode, or will it be an even bigger game? Come on, guys. give us a break. Crosscode was already quite huge, and it's a little bit risky for us to promise to give you another game of that size or even larger. I think our current idea with Project Terra is that it may not be quite as long as Crosscode, but that not like saying it's only half the length. I think that would be going too far. But I think what we can say is that the content may be more focused, so I think there may be more main story content and maybe less optional content. That's at least is the way I see it, and the idea is that some of the more side quest like content you would have in Crosscode will feel more integrated in the main plot. I think that's the idea. Something along those lines. But otherwise, I actually would still argue it's at least somewhat comparable. So I'm pretty sure it will be like on average a longer game for what an indie developer usually produces. So
yeah.
So we probably learned from like the big story gap after like the middle of the game, or like core story, like you could say, and we're trying to make that more compressed and more how could you say that? Yeah, just not so many gaps in there.
Essentially, we want to improve the pacing, and I think Crosscode had the problem that it had some great story moments, but there were also a lot of moments in between which were much more gameplay driven, and there was always character interactions, but there was no big plot developments. And in Project Terra we tried to kind of like make the story a bit more smooth, so there's more interesting things happening more frequently, like kind of like to drive the mystery more in smaller steps rather than having like a big twist and then a long silence again. So kind of like having the story better distributed in a way. I think that's the idea.
Yeah.
Will everyone's favorite NPC, Ventus Amogus, appear in the game? It's not even a real NPC, it's just a string in a database. Crosscode, blah blah blah. Crosscode took me about 100 hours to finish, so being bigger might be too much. Raise the price a bit though. $20 for 100 plus hours of game has spoiled me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we might. Who knows? What is your stance on Kickstarter? Obviously.
Kickstarter sucks. You only do Indiegogo here.
We do Indiegogo, which obviously is way better in every. Which totally we didn't only use because we had to.
Yeah, no, like I mean, Kickstarter is nice. It's a bit complicated for Project Terra, so we are not 100% sure we will have a crowdfunding campaign. But if you have one, it will likely be with Kickstarter this time.
We are already getting crowdfunded because the German government is.
Yeah, it's crowd.
It's crowd.
Crowdfunded.
Right, crowdfunded is with K. Okay, what I could show off some new stuff that we've been working on.
Felix, let yourself get hit by the enemy a few times until you're critical HP.
Oh, okay. Something new happened. Okay. Hit me. Wow, okay. Something happened with the lightning, with the shader thing again.
See it.
By the way, we also got a really interesting...
Whoa, okay. Now you get actually a dramatic effect and the color changes when you're about to die. Also the HP bar is missing, but maybe I just had the option. Display HUD, yeah, disabled this.
Oh, I see, nice.
Oh,
Kovac is asking, will Project Terra get time development, like map change after some big events in the game, like crashed asteroids?
Don't ask too many questions about these kinds of things.
Yeah.
You might get spoiled.
Right.
yeah.
I was gonna say we can't publicly deny, or what's the other one? Deny or not deny. Damn it. I wanted to do the CIA quote, but I forgot what the other word was.
Confirm, yeah.
Confirm or deny, right.
Yeah, I think
PTA
like the
wasted
bloom
three.
isn't quite as quite as strong as it used to be. Could that be?
Yeah, that's the I pushed the fix I did on the cross week.
Oh, and that's why there's no more bloom now, or?
No, the bloom is just not like appearing so soon with so low values, I think.
Oh, okay.
It needs higher values to be bloomed, basically.
Okay, then we probably need to adjust the scaling, because I mean we just need kind of like it's not a good idea to just change like the scaling, since now we have a couple of effects adjusted to the scaling, right?
Yeah, sure, we can change that pretty easily, I think.
Oh well, it's a lot of back and forth with the effects at the moment.
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't tweak the value for that at all, because I didn't want to decide on anything.
But at least like the red arrows are not working, right?
Red arrows are fixed.
Okay.
I did that, I think, yesterday or something. That was a really weird bug.
But you know, like
very
this bloom is like a very recent thing, right? Because I'm pretty sure this wasn't the case yesterday or like a few days ago. So I'm expecting this happened because of your fix from today or yesterday.
The other day I pushed my things from the cross week still. I had
All right, yes, I actually never
things.
tested with that, I think.
Yeah. That's probably it.
Did I? Did I never test the things? Yeah, okay, yeah. All right.
Amazing commit messages. Yes, we're really good at those. Whoops for more.
I just realized that Project Terra has the same acronym as Porteris Grey. No, it doesn't. Damn it. Oh, jeebus.
Are you going to say PG?
Yeah.
PT?
Yeah, it's not. For whatever reason, I thought. Are you
Yeah,
aiming to make PT a similar difficulty as Crosscode? I mean, it's a bit hard to say. I think our goal is to at least make the game more accessible in a way that at least there are more options for people who don't like the challenging difficulty. In Crosscode we had those sliders and they were just added more like an afterthought, because when we released the game a lot of people complained about difficulty, so we just quickly added something that made it easier. But now for Project we kind of like want to think of some more, I don't know, better integrated options to adjust the difficulty in a way. And when it comes to puzzles, I think we want to move a little bit away from making puzzles too challenging to execute, because that's what a lot of players had issues with. Instead, like there will still be tricky puzzles, but just the execution should be easier to pull off. That's the idea.
Yeah, especially with timed puzzle elements.
Yeah.
Now I see what you meant with commit messages. My whoops for Goa. Also Felix. Now everyone knows our email addresses.
Oh, that sucks. Sorry.
It was very hard to.
Tragedy.
It was really hard to guess laxen@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Did you read what Golden Frying Pan said with the crosscode extra dialogue mod? That to anyone willing to try crosscode mods, you need, in caps lock, need to try the crosscode extra dialogue mod. It's very well written. It brings a lot of party interaction to the post-game DLC.
Oh, I actually read those dialogues. I did give them a read, and they're actually really nice. Yeah, they're actually very
I need a few, so I need to,
well
I
written.
need to check them out at some point.
So somebody just kind of like added more side dialogues with all kind of characters that haven't been added. And,
that's great, because yeah, the post DLC of course has a lot of combinations of characters.
And I mean I spent some time adding some extra dialogues, but I mean there's only so much I could manage to lighten the time.
Let's not forget that people like Shizuka and Schneider and stuff didn't even have like arena or battle quotes for the longest time.
Yeah, that's right. Are the melee weapons going to be that slow, or is it just a sledgehammer kind of thing? Actually, let me show again. So there will be slower than crosscode on average at least, but there will be a fast weapon option as well. It's just not implemented yet. So here, for comparisons, this is like the sword, which is faster, but not quite as fast as in crosscode. And the hedgehammer is it's a slow weapon. It's the slowest weapon, pretty much, I think. So yeah, there will be a weapon option which will be faster than that. But yeah, essentially you will have different weapon speeds this time. Okay, let's see what else.
Al says, I didn't really write too much dialogue, but I wrote the scripting language that was used for that mod.
Oh,
That's
okay.
really cool. Nice. I love that our community is doing stuff like that. That's amazing.
I mean,
Crosscode the Roman says, I just want to say, how did 28% of people think Bergen Village is better than Temple of the Creator? Oh, come on! Some people just like certain music things. Like, I still can't believe that.
Bergen Village is better, so.
Okay, you see, so
factually.
Okay. Like I also don't agree with some of the developments here. I don't know what it was, but I forgot.
We all already know who's going to win, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you go by the number of views on YouTube, it's pretty clear which song will win in the end. But I'll wait and maybe we're surprised.
I haven't checked out what actually is. Okay, what do we have here? Is Ahogewald still in there?
Ahoga, I think.
It's still in here. Yeah, it beat Temple Mine.
Yeah, that was a strong challenger.
Ahoga, I think. It's still in here. Yeah, it beat Temple Mine. I haven't seen.
Whoa! Don't. It's strong challenger. Stop. No.
I'm gonna grab something to eat. BRB.
Okay.
All right.
All right, we have challenge 1, challenge 2.
Oh wow, Shizuka will fall. We'll see about that.
Gmail is open again, Felix.
Let me just close Gmail then.
Felix, stop
Why do I
spoiling.
keep
Don't
doing this?
dox yourself.
I'm doxing me in every stream, I think. It's just bound to happen.
But I mean, it's pretty easy to find you because you're living in Saarland, and how big can that be?
Yeah, it's like 10 people.
Let Felix work while I talk about video games, as should be.
I could also talk
Alright.
about video games, but you start.
Oh no. Okay. Then let me just talk about what I will do now and then you can start. So I will actually start creating some placeholder graphics because we don't have any proper barrier graphics yet. I mean, our artists are working on them, but they're not quite yet finished. So I will just work on some placeholders and implement the barriers in terms of technology, and then we can replace the placeholders. So yeah. So I will now work on stuff.
You start working now? Alright.
Yeah.
First of all, I finally got to the point in Trials of Mana where you can switch classes, which comes way too late. It is until this point, you already went through 10 cases of, hey, sorry, I'm not ready. Go talk to random strangers in the city until I'm ready. This game is the master of that. That is also true for the original. They just They just re-implemented what the original did.
Yeah,
Which is, by the way, the reason why I never was able to finish the Japanese version, because I missed some random NPC.
Oh, damn.
And I was
Hmm.
never able to enter that stupid market town city.
Oh, that one.
Oh.
I'm back. What game are you talking about?
Trials of Mana.
Trails of Mana.
Um,
Trials. Trials in the Sky and Trails of Mana. My favorite games.
But yeah, but as soon as you get like the classes, it's cool again because you suddenly get so much, you know.
Hmm.
Up till this point, you just mash the same combo, but now you have 2 abilities instead of 1. You actually get magic.
I mean, that was kind of also even worse in the original, because in the original the fighting system was way more simple. You couldn't really fight all that interestingly.
I mean,
And-
that is true, but Trials of Mana is also very simple and
yeah,
very-
but of course, but you can at least actively dodge and stuff, which is something that
Well-
you can barely do in the original.
I say there are some like moments where I wish the game would be less rigid. It feels very rigid to play. And also it has like, this is a game where I would say the input buffer is way too high.
Hmm.
Like, damn. Because you have freeze frames on every attack, like if you play Hawkeye, you have the problem that his multi-hit moves both lag you, right? They're both
Hmm.
they're fast, but they lag you for the same freeze frames as a sword attack from Duran.
Hmm.
And the game compensates for saying, all right, we buffer your input, which is nice, but it's so much that often I miss the 1-2 special combo because it keeps buffering another square input for some reason.
Hmm.
Which is why. But now, I mean, now I have classes. Now I'm just playing Angela and spamming magic anyway. So. Holy light, holy light, holy light, holy light.
Are you playing Japanese or Japanese voiceover?
Japanese or Japanese?
No. Japanese or Japanese, yeah.
Oh, Japanese. Sorry.
I play English.
Okay.
I don't understand Japanese.
Yeah, okay, of course. No, but with that game, there have been quite some opinions that say, yeah, the English voiceover is not very good, so you maybe just pick Japanese, so at least it doesn't make you cringe all the time or something.
I mean, yeah, there's clearly one guy speaking all of the mana spirits.
Yeah.
At least it feels like it's all just one guy.
I think there's different ones, because there's one who's extremely bad, even compared to the other ones.
It might be then it might be the first one, because that one was just he
no,
had a bad day, like, or a bad direction, I would say.
Did you get the fire one already?
No.
Okay,
I don't know.
Oh, the fire one, yeah.
When you get the fire one, just pay attention to his voice lines. But it's really interesting, because I looked up the actors, like when the game came out, and you basically had of the main characters, you had like 2 voice actors who are more experienced. Basically, 2 of them worked on Fire Emblem Three Houses, for example, and like the one who does Reese or Lise or whatever she's called now, and the one who does Hawkeye. And the Hawkeye voice actor is also pretty famous in general. Not famous, but he's a pretty big.
Is that Spider-Man? He sounded like a Spider-Man voiceover.
I don't think so. He definitely voiced the leader of the DLC house in Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yeah, which I
and he's
definitely know, because I'm a big fan of waifu games.
I mean, you are a fan of Persona, right?
I'm a fan of Persona 5 Strikers.
Really? That's waifus.
No,
And also,
this game
you-
has no dating mechanics.
Also, for fuck's sake, you're a fan of the Trails games.
The Trails games, yeah, but I don't do any of that. waifu bullshit. I just every time one of the girls comes, can I talk with you? I just ignore them and
You
go
can
about
also-
my day.
You don't need to do the waifu stuff in Three Houses either. So don't.
Don't you
Okay.
get bonuses when you do it?
Well, yeah, you get bonuses for relationship stuff, but that can also include like friendly relationships. That's like more the interpersonal
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
You don't get any bonuses for marrying someone because that only happens at the very end of the game. So you don't get any bonuses for that.
Triggering Hannah is one of my favorite things.
You're not triggering me. I'm not angry. Shut up. No, I'm not. I'm just saying. It's. But I'm actually. Yeah, right. He's called Alejandro. I'm just gonna say it's Alejandro because I'm.
Yeah, I'm seeing him. He's basically an anime voiceover.
Yeah, he's also a VTuber actually.
Oh,
Like,
that's why he
God
had to
damn
talk
it,
about
Hannah.
this.
this
Yeah,
That's
is
why
why
it
this
was relevant.
yeah.
He's very good. He's a very good voice actor, but he's also very likable on Twitter. But he's also a VTuber.
Oh,
All right.
Not that there's any
Edit, stop it, please.
enough.
enough. Okay.
Mm.
We were talking about a game, not that VTuber shit. Imagine
gonna-
me sitting around saying, I don't know, who's online? Yo, my favorite streamer, Minecraft dude 6969.
Follow him too. He's amazing.
He's amazing. He has all the cute voice lines,
Yes.
like the creeper boom.
It's a creeper. I'm gonna link him in chat, okay? He's
Mhm.
Jesus.
he's this boy.
As again, throwable weapons in Project Terra. No spoilers. You will get no answer. There are ranged weapons though,
Yes.
but there are no items you can throw.
I mean, if you think about it, a crossbow is just a thing that throws bolts.
Yeah. Throwable
Yes.
arrows.
Just today, I finished the first part of the Great Ace Attorney.
Ooh.
And the last act, the last case, was actually really good. I liked it
Nice.
a lot. Overall, I would say the game is pretty easy compared to like other Ace Attorney games. I only played the first 4, so I don't know about the other ones. But it felt much like easier just.
Hmm.
But I was thinking maybe that's actually a good thing because especially the first time I played the Ace Attorney games, I had some moments where I had no idea and just clicked through every item and showed every item
Mm.
until it clicked somewhere. And they made those things like more obvious, I would say. So I guess in the end it was actually less frustrating in that way. But yeah, now I'm really excited to play the second part, and I'm glad I waited for the bundle, so I can continue immediately, because already cases are connecting here and there, and I don't want to forget about everything. I think if I had to wait several years, I would need a refresher and everything.
Yeah. It's nice to be able to just play all the games, essentially just binge the whole games. Mm.
Yeah, I hope the next game does a few more things with the mechanics. Like, they introduced quite a few new mechanics in the game, and they used them a lot too, which was really nice. But it felt like they used them always in the same or a very similar way. And Yeah, so whenever something started to happen, I already knew, okay, now that's mechanic gonna come in, and I'm gonna have to do this. Which made it also easier, I guess. But yeah, I wished it had a bit more variety in that area.
I actually just tried to play it a bit again. I think yesterday or day before yesterday, but it was too late and we didn't manage to play it that far. But we just
What
just
case are you
the
in?
second case, like the one where you're stuck in this room.
Yes.
What was it? Herlock Schloms?
Herlock Sholmes.
Herlock Sholmes.
You can say Sherlock Holmes. That's how it is in the Japanese version.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, they
wow.
just had to
It's
change it
simply
because
that-
of copyright. And
Yeah.
because
the
he
copyright law
has
in Europe.
emotions. Or what was
No,
it?
it's because there's a foundation that manages the Sherlock Holmes rights, and they are just like the Michael Jackson Foundation, like every foundation that manages dead people's rights. Greedy ass motherfuckers.
Of course. But
Yeah.
it's actually really funny that they say Herlock Sholmes. It kind of adds to the punny names all over.
See that?
Then why not call him Sherlock Bones?
That's true.
That
Yeah, I actually played the game so much lately that I confused what's the real name, what's the fake name at some point.
okay.
I'm just imagining someone just saying randomly to someone else, "Oh, no shit, Sherlock," and then the Sherlock Holmes Foundation is breaking through the door and just sue you.
Where are our royalties?
This kind of like when some YouTuber douchebags tried to copyright reactions or what it was. Reaction videos, and then everyone was joking about, "Oh no, I reacted to something, now I get sued by the fine bros," or whatever those were.
Another good reason they use Herlock Sholmes is because they use that in a punny way, that they say, "Oh yeah, there was this German guy, I think it was Herlock or something."
I get it.
Oh boy. Okay, I made some graphics, now I will create figures.
But yeah, the second case is very enjoyable.
Yes. I also did some gaming. I played a lot of Arknights. Haha. No, for serious. People who were at Crossweek, which we will also talk about, Felix, at some point. Crossweek.
Sure, yeah.
Yes, but first, let me tell you about a game called Songs of Conquest. It's very good. It's an indie game. It's an early access. It is, how you say it? It's very inspired by old Heroes of Might and Magic games. You know, those turn-based strategy games are about strategy in a turn-based fighting system and RPG elements and many big armies, and you run around the map and do things to prepare for combat and do things. It's very interesting, I tell you.
Okay.
But if you're familiar with those kind of games, then Songs of Conquest adapted them really well, and also like got rid of some gameplay elements that were a bit annoying and like put a bit more depth into other gameplay elements, and overall I think it plays even better than old Heroes of Might and Magic games. And I I bought it when it came out, basically. When did it came out? One day before Cross Week, so not that long ago. Like maybe 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. And I already played 45 hours. I beat both campaigns, at least as far as they go for now. And with like 4 missions each, but some really long missions at times. With some skirmishes, and I have to say, I like it a lot. It's a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure that I will play it a lot less at this point, because I played it a lot already, but it's tons of fun. Lots of fun. And great sprite art. Sprite art is really, really good.
Except
the graphics
the
style in
stupid
general.
bloom.
Oh, the bloom. Yeah, okay.
Can you actually disable that?
I'm not sure. I haven't tested it. Like, I mean, I can check really quick. I mean, but I have to say, overall, I think the sprite art is also very well used in most cases. Like how they use the camera during combat, for example. It's really cool how whenever you win a fight or lose a fight, then the camera always does a really epic zoom in on the last attack, basically, and it's really.
Yeah, although I wish it would be a little bit less sudden. Because it doesn't zoom in, and more like
It basically
it's zoomed
teleports.
in and then zooms out.
It teleports, basically.
Yeah, teleport. That's a little bit like it caught me off guard the first few times.
First of all, you can deactivate the bloom,
Oh, thank goodness.
and I know what you mean, and I agree. But I have to say, by now, I think it's really, really hilarious how whenever you win the fight by doing like a big spell, like an explosion spell or something, then it zooms in and you just see giant pixel explosion super zoomed in on the entire screen. It's like it's very it's pretty slapsticky, and I kind of love it. Yeah, but it's really good.
Akin to Dofu.
Yeah,
Never
basically.
heard of Dofus.
Oh, Dofus. That's don't you know Wakfu?
Doesn't ring a bell now.
Okay, it's they're both French MMOs, but also it's more of a multimedia thing, because Wakfu also got a pretty high quality French animation series that even ran on German TV. What was the question even? Man, I wish there were more turn-based. Right, Dofus. Dofus was also like a turn-based MMO. I played it a bit many years ago with some other people. Hey Tactics, I think I heard that name once. And yeah, Song of Conquest is for those that need more neurons activated when playing Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Because like the spell system is really good, I think. I really like how the mana system works. And I also really like how they handled like settlements compared to Heroes of Might and Magic. Or not just settlements, but rather settlements and unit limits. And basically how it motivates you to spend way more thoughts about how you build up your towns and how your army composition will be. So it's a really good game. Will there be ball jokes in Project Terra? I mean, who knows? Quite a few units, blah blah. Oh right, Soldiers. That's also an interesting game. It's by the same people who did Card Saga Wars. That explains so much about the sprite art style.
I just looked at it. The pixel art looks really nice.
Felix, do you remember Card Saga Wars? Or Stefan?
Oh, you mean like where? Yeah, I know what you mean.
The giant crossover thing with the super good sprite art.
It never got finished because
Yeah, never got finished, and the people are
it
now
was way too ambitious.
It was way too ambitious.
way
yeah.
too critical
Way too
in terms
ambitious
of
and-
copyright.
Yeah, and that too.
That was probably also the
And,
biggest.
And yes, soldiers, it makes a lot of sense that it's the same people because the sprite art is pretty. The style of the sprite art is pretty similar. It also has very, very good.
I wouldn't
high
say
quality
similar
sprite.
though. I mean, it's much more realistic. So
But Felix, it's also very good. That's what
yeah, I mean, sure, but there's a lot of good pixel art in the world. So
Yeah,
I didn't-
okay. I see.
I wouldn't have expect this. So
In any case, yeah, it's interesting.
oh my gosh, Photoshop! I hate this so much.
Why? Oh yeah,
it's
because
Time
it's
to switch.
What?
Time to switch.
Easy.
I
Easier said
should have
than done.
switched for a long time already. So
Felix, did
Yeah,
you
it's better.
actually?
Yeah.
Did
Right.
you
It's
actually-
late
Oh,
at
I
this
know
point.
what the problem is. Oh man, I had this so often. The
Hmm?
stupid when you save, right, and it saves it as
yeah, like it saves a freaking copy. I never want save as a copy. The fun thing is, back in the day, like very old Photoshop versions didn't have that, but then they added this, and I never got used to this. And after 10,
And-
15 years, I still hate this.
save as copy, and you cannot like change it.
No, you have to make sure the image can be saved feature complete, and only then it can be saved as a without it being a copy. And for that, you have to remove all the barriers, everything, all the layers. And yeah, that was the status quo for Photoshop. So what happens if I save FlatX? It does not work. Damn it. I'm pretty sure that used to work.
That indeed used to work.
Yeah.
Was it just in animation maybe that it worked?
No, it's supposed to work for figures in general. Oh well.
Huh. I mean, I think you. Ah, yeah. I think you have to select it and then press flip X.
Oh.
That's the thing. Yeah, I remember this. I had the same thing in animations when I wanted to flip an animation.
It still doesn't work. God damn it.
Oh, fuck.
Screw me.
God damn it.
Oh.
But if you guys want to enjoy a fantastic game,
Crosscode.
play more Crosscode. Or Solitaire, right?
Solitaire, yeah. Did you play? By the way, it's a beehive now. It's a beehive area. Nice. It even has the right
Nice.
color.
Yeah.
Did you
It's
actually?
bees. Bees are the enemy.
Bees.
Not the bees.
The bees are here. The bees are here. Stupid clip. Did you play Chained Echoes by now?
No. What the
Wait, is that game out?
It's
No,
not out,
but-
but some very high IQ people have alpha versions.
You people.
Alright, then.
Stefan realizes that he's not high IQ. I see. No,
I
but,
bet with you if I open my Steam I have access to it too, because I have access to others Deck 13 stuff too.
Okay. I mean, I do know that I have it because I think Michael.
Yep, I have it.
I think Michael gave it to me at some point. But yeah, I mean, I
Pretty
haven't
sure
played
he
it.
just unlocks every game from them for us too. Just on the side, I feel like.
Okay. I mean, I do know that he just that he definitely asked me and gave me a key and stuff. But maybe for you, he just unlocks it like on different channels. But yeah, it's a very
He
good
knows
game.
me, he knows like
A good game.
I'm gonna.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, I helped with the Search 2. Back in the day too. Like I played Search 2 in alpha
right.
without
I
any
wanted
decals.
to do that too, but I just couldn't manage. Like just my time.
I think the game was generally very playable at this point. Only the final boss was definitely at that stage where I played it, it was way too hard. But otherwise, it was very nice. Sliding around, chopping off limbs.
Speed of sound.
It's really amazing to see that this game is being made using Impact, a pretty old game engine by now. I think you're using HTML5 code and JavaScript, correct?
Well, I mean...
Quite. I mean, you can explain if you want.
Well, you can explain too, then I can work on stuff, so...
Okay, so we're not using JavaScript, we're using TypeScript by now, which of course is just converted into JavaScript in the end. But yeah, that makes our code base quite different, I would say. And I wouldn't say we're using Impact by now. Of course, our crosscode engine was based on Impact. And our new engine is based on the crosscode engine, but like we changed a lot of things.
Everything that made
changed over
Impact
the times.
in the end is gone by now, so this is
Yeah.
truly our own engine now, I would say.
Yeah, this one in any case, like there's no impact left in our new engine. In crosscode there were like certain things like the class system we used, those were from Impact.js, so there was always like a certain percentage, even in crosscode we already rewrote like the rendering and the physics, and we extended a whole lot of things, like the whole editor system was extended so much beyond what was there. But still, I mean, it was a great basis, so it was like a very nice foundation to start working with, so that's why I still appreciate that we had Impact back in the days.
Yeah, I would say the biggest legacy of that still is probably in the UI design and colors and stuff.
What?
Or did they change as well? I don't know. I don't remember.
I mean,
What, the UI?
we still have a dark.
No.
We still have a dark theme, but we definitely. Where Felix and I sat down for this, actually, we had a like a discussion about which colors we choose and how we design.
I'm pretty sure that Impact used to be dark from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, but I remember saying to you, I would love to have the editor in a dark mode. And then you said, yeah, we can't take the colors from the old engine, and I said, yeah, let's make it a little bit brighter so we can use black for really black stuff. I remember that saying that because like Impact was just black most of the time.
wow.
Something you can see here, we use a lot of transparency combined with blurring, right? To make it a little bit lighter. And it will have like a more modern, polished look and feel to it. We even changed the setting editor. Like in the old editor system, the setting editor were always right-aligned text. But we then changed this here, so now it's left-aligned.
Look at this! I made a barrier. It's horizontal.
Yay.
It works. It's
Is
like
this
this.
scalable?
There was kind of it's
Yay.
scalable. Like look, I actually
Nice.
made the figures kind of like. That's an idea that I had. Like you can't just make one graphic like this, and you can't just repeat this. And
Yeah.
even if
That's
you
how-
say you don't have an end, it looks good because you know it doesn't look bad to have like the very end like this, and you can connect
Yeah.
this to other things too. And so that was an idea I had.
So they basically slightly overlap.
Yeah, exactly. The graphics overlap a little bit, so to make this work. But yeah, I mean,
Since Gamedev is running
cool.
in a canvas, it can't be GPU rendered. No. The canvas is GPU accelerated. That is
It's
definitely
not-
the case. So crosscode should be. I mean, it might be that some systems just flag the wrapper that we use as Chrome, and then it says, "Oh, don't use GPU," right? Because laptops do want to be optimizing stuff, which might make your game run slower, and then you have to kind of force Windows or NVIDIA settings to like run this with the dedicated GPU instead of the integrated.
yeah, that's a problem that we are having with that we have with crosscode, and we actually never addressed this because it turns out that it was actually running good enough for a lot of people, despite this. But yeah, for Project Terra, it's more critical because there it turns out the integrated is really. Honestly though, I mean, even on the new work desktop I have, it was running on the integrated graphic all the time, and I wouldn't have noticed. So for new machines, the integrated hardware is fine. But if you go to older laptops, like a few years older, or like just low-end models, you really notice that it becomes slow. So that's why. Kind of like need to adapt things there. What did I want to do?
Random question about crosscode's development. Leia's design has similar vibes to Cosmos' design. I don't know, Felix. I guess, right? Like Cosmos was some inspiration.
Maybe a little bit. Not very explicit though. I'm not. I didn't kind of like. So there wasn't like kind of like not really the intention to make her design very Cosmos-like. Okay, something.
And I don't think the character is from Xenogears, but from Xenosaga.
Yeah, it's Xenosaga.
I mean,
you only played the second one, right?
I only played the first Xenoblade, the first one.
No, Xenosaga. You only played the second one, right?
No, I only played Xenosaga, the first Xenosaga, I mean.
Oh, okay, the first one.
Only
the one
one.
that's still good, thankfully.
Yeah, like
the second one was.
I heard like the second one was so bad, and then I never cared. But then you told me like the third one is pretty good again.
The third one is one of those games that made everything use that the PlayStation 2 was able to do. Like highly advanced game, especially if you like emulate it, you can like upgrade the resolution and it scales well, right?
Wow.
Really impressed. They even did tricks that were so advanced that the emulator couldn't emulate them. Because they needed more textures space because they had these huge robots again, right? And they really want mechas. But there was this hangar with all your mechas in it, and the emulator was just not able to render them all, like the textures. Was just not possible. They stored somewhere in the memory.
Why would you not do what I want to do? Photoshop, you stupid piece of. I had this problem already. Look, I'm scaling stuff here, right? And I say, I have a preview, which is like, nearest neighbor, and this is perfect. This is exactly what I want. Just do what I want. And then, nope. Nope. Not gonna do what you want.
This is something I hated too, and was also something that since then
doesn't have to be perfect.
I keep doing with.
Okay.
What do I use now? What's it called? Sprite. There we go.
Yeah. I should switch finally.
Like by now, I'm actually also used to most of the inputs. I specifically like that I can double click with the selection tool and it selects one of the grid cells. And I can drag grid cells, so I always know I'm in like ×8 space, which is very neat. I had a couple of neat things about it, especially for the UI stuff, like when I did the stamina thing. It was really quite nice. Also because nowadays we can just reload images and I don't have to reload the game.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm using right now. Actually, this is such an amazing feature, and it wasn't even that hard to implement. I mean, once they really settle and say, okay, this is a goal. When you modify any asset, it should reload automatically. It's such a huge improvement. So anybody working on tools, if they have any way to implement this. It's like it's a huge help. Look at this. Oh, looks okay. I mean, It's not supposed to be perfect, obviously.
Felix, just take a screenshot of the preview and then paste it in.
Easy.
Yes. Perfect. What do you need? What more do you need?
Yesterday I spent 2 hours doing one animation for the stamina bar, which is barely noticeable, but it just looked weird without it.
Okay.
I kind of faked a bloom effect with some trickery.
Oh no, blue.
Yeah, bloom can be fine, but it needs to be controlled. Like when you use
that looks
stamina, when you use stamina and it recharges, it at the end it blinks a little bit, right?
Mm.
And the blinking of the bar was easy enough, but then there was such a strong contrast between like the outer rim, the border. So what I did is I kind of overlay the border in the same color as the stamina bar, which creates like a little bit of a bloom effect, as if the color is bleeding outside and then it fades away again. I literally, like, on my one monitor I had like Breath of the Wild in 4K and 60 FPS, and I counted the frames and I looked frame by frame how they did it and how the effect is made up. I also implemented something new that we can use called the frames util. And the frames util is simply frames.get, and then you put in the frames you have and you get back the time value for those frames at 60 FPS per default. You can also put in 30 FPS if you want 30 FPS or whatever FPS. So this way you don't have to write 10 times 0.016, which is not accurate. It's 1 divided by 60. And it's like a little tool that does the stuff for you, so we don't have to repeat the same input.
Wait, I have a question for you. I want to have a function, just a little helper function, that returns true, for example, every 0.5 seconds for 1 frame. I have the function already. It is a really nice, neat trick, but I can't think of a name for it.
Wait, what? What does the function do?
For example, I can have parameter 0.5, and then every 0.5 seconds it returns true for 1 frame. Otherwise, it returns false. So you can
You basically
do
want a
something
clock.
every 0.
It's that you're describing a clock.
It's basically a clock, but it works without a clock. It's just working on the like global timer.
I mean, yeah, that is exactly what the CPU clock does, right? In a PC. It's like a global thing that makes an in and output, and every time the clock is on, it means you can do an operation, and when it's off, then don't do the operation.
Yeah.
You know that. So you could call it clock. It's literally what you're describing.
Just interval. I would use the name interval because you're kind of like saying for a certain interval of a certain seconds. Check
I like
interval,
that.
maybe like this, because clock
Check
is like
interval.
a very, very common name for a lot of things. So check interval maybe. Naming things is hard though.
What? No, never. I love naming things.
Yeah.
It's almost the most fun thing.
Oh, works pretty good overall, I think.
One of the 2 hard problems in CS: catch and validation, naming things, and off by 1 error.
Yeah.
Off by 1 arrow.
That's that joke. Oh yeah, sometimes sometimes it's hard to kind of like think of a good name for what this something does. Me at least. And sometimes just it's like a good practice to come up with a weird name that you don't use anywhere else, so it's easier to kind of like you don't mistake it for something else that you have in your code base, right? For instance, that's why I came up with wipe, which is a combination of Weltmeister and type.
That's the type, right?
Because it's
See, now that you're saying that, remember we are using these global vibes that are basically like, these are always the same, so you can use them.
yeah.
Basically, those are GVs, global vibes.
GVs. What?
Yeah, G for the letter G, right? But written as GE and then VE.
Oh, okay.
A GV.
Mhm.
Oh, I fucking see.
All right, I did the barriers.
That looks nice. And it's so nice. You have basically just one barrier entry. And you can like swap between those settings without issues.
Actually, but something I need to do is to give the option of having only half the width. I think I probably may have to do that. Oh well, it's not important now. Actually, that is tricky. Oh damn. But that's only tricky because of how I did because you cannot split this in half here. That's why. But you can make a texture that you can split in half. You just don't make 3 but 2, and then it's okay. So just have to be aware of that, because like the problem right now is if you make it if you say you can have half steps, right? Then you always have like this delta here, so you need something half of it to fill it. I mean, it's good to know this, so I can mention this to Tomer, so he makes sure to create the proper graphics. But yeah, you should be able to use this for half tiles, because then you can flexibly add or remove the poles, because sometimes you don't want to add the poles and sometimes you want to, especially if you connect things, right? So the idea is you can use a horizontal, and there you use both sides poles, and then you add a diagonal, and then you just say, I don't need a pole, just do this. Right? For this to work in any way, you need to be able to have half steps. Or I just say
you could also just leave a gap at the end, at least. That also does work, as it doesn't look that bad.
This actually looks good. Actually, this works. Actually, it's fine. I mean, you may not even need half steps, I think.
Do I? Yeah, I use the tile steps there with the length even.
Yeah, those are tile steps. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, did I use absolute values there? No, I didn't. I can take it. Dennis will be composing. Yes, he will.
Okay.
He started working on some stuff. He also already did some stuff for like the prototype.
Right.
Like Dennis works best when there's already like graphics and like something to play in done, so he can like have the atmosphere and feel for the stuff.
That's right.
So most music will probably come as right when we develop one area and it's kind of done, and then he has like the best feel for it.
That's right. I expect him to do more work once we progress with content development. So, look, it looks pretty good so far.
Yeah, nice. Proto barrier engaged. Beep boop.
I thought you mean Proto Man.
Proto Man engaged.
What
Beep
am I
boop.
fighting for? Wait, that was 0. Anyway.
Oh yeah, Felix, you were writing about the climate editor and map change editor. I actually have an idea of how I would do that already. I would make it like the camera controller, something you can just add to the root editor, and when it's on enabled, then it adds the climate map setting, and when the map changer is on, then it adds a map switcher interface. I'll just put it in the bottom and
bottom
add a
is fine,
hotkey. Yeah. And then I rework all the code where it's used, so it doesn't need to be like we don't need to copy paste, because we did a lot of copy pasting with the background map loading.
Yeah, it was always re-implemented, and that's I think it should be very similar. You may have to add a callback so you can react to things. I think that's actually very important, because like whenever you, for instance, if you
have different entities that you want to add.
You can only add the figure after the background map has been added. Otherwise, there might be trouble. So, but otherwise, it should be easy to separate this. So
yeah. Like we use different entities for different editors, obviously. So you need a callback there too.
Yeah, I think that works pretty well. At least, I mean, of course, obviously, graphics are not nice right now, but. At least in terms of how you can integrate it, that works pretty well.
Yeah, also cool that we now see the sides of our side walls a little bit.
Yeah, just being able to see the side walls is such a big thing, actually.
Really helpful. It was like a thing in... I mean, I think in Crosscode those invisible walls, quote unquote, were a bit confusing to some people because they didn't really look that much like actual barriers. But then again, on most maps, we at least try to have very few of them actually be reachable. Usually, aside from like entrances and stuff.
Oh, those I felt were nice. Those are not the same barriers as these ones.
Kovac asks, will textures have effects on touch? No, they will not.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Probably not. I mean, for now at least. Okay.
That should be relatively easily done though.
What the heck? No, the bar is moving when I move and I touch it. No.
What?
Okay.
Wait, what?
Here, this one here.
Oh!
It has window. Let me see. It shouldn't. So let me see.
I mean, it's not.
Can you swing your sword or something?
Just hit it with and it doinks around.
Also, just thinking for the vertical barriers, you could probably just add the second graphic, so you have two slices next to each other. That way,
actually, this is weird. This is super
there's
weird.
actually a bug.
This is actually moving, but only this one. Okay.
Huh?
I mean, the wind rigger is 0. Huh.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something.
Maybe there is a check there that says or. Defaults when it's 0, right? And if you check against a null value that's 0, then it's still null and results in the false case. I see that a couple of times.
KLG Ahmed, I don't know how to say it, says, "Hey guys, just wanted to say that you did an awesome job with Crosscode and it really inspired me to start hobby game development. Thanks and have a great night." Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Give me a moment, I will turn on the light here.
Turn the light on.
No.
Shining like it's
Okay.
a light.
So, I mean, that is weird because I'm pretty sure, like, when there's stormy weather, they.
There's also the code. The code says this wind sway equals data wind sway, or if that's not true, data wind shift.
Wait,
so
what?
this is probably what's causing this.
Wait, where
Yeah,
does this happen?
go into the figure file.
Figure GFX?
Yeah, and then line 609, and then there you see how the code is basically saying, "Oh, wind sways doesn't define. Please take the shift value."
Okay.
So you basically have a default.
Winds.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Like this is the typical way you have
Wait
to
a
check
second.
fetch.
No.
The fetch. You have to use fetch.
Yeah,
for
but
these
this
things.
is not about wind sway. This is about wind
No,
wiggle.
go to the constructor. Line 609.
609.
Yeah.
Yui's music that just played
609 is range for me.
In figure?
Oh, figure, not figure GFX. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad.
609.
Easy to mix up.
Okay, so why does? Oh, yeah. Okay, I think that's probably because it used to be called wind shift, but it's not used anymore. So this is not necessarily wrong. It's just that it should be 0 if there's nothing, right? So that's not the issue. I don't think so.
Oh. What property are you?
This is
searching
actually
for again?
about wind wiggle.
Oh, okay.
Because
okay,
wind
never
sway
mind.
is about
Yes.
actually it will be more or less ignored by billboards on the bottom like this. It's more this the wind sway should be 0, so it should not move at all, but it does. So I think this might be a shader thing.
I'm seeing here that wind wiggle is multiplied and then plus 0.5 added in the
Whoa,
tree billboard TS.
tree
tree
billboard.
billboard.
Probably to put it between 0 and 1 instead
Where
of
is it?
Right,
minus.
but if you multiply 0 by 0.5 and add 0.5, the result is 0.5.
Exactly.
So
And in the
it will
shader,
do.
it's reversed again.
Oh, because yeah, okay. But maybe this reversing has actually a rounding issue. So this might be the case. So, okay, let's see.
I see something in the shader with where the local wiggle is added to the global wiggle.
Okay, this is billboard word, right?
That might be.
Okay.
No, it's actually in wind.glsl. That's where the wind sway and stuff is calculated.
Okay, so let's see. Local. So the wind wiggle is this value that should be 0. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Look, here you have wind wiggle times 2 minus 1. This should be 0 though. If it really is 0.5.
Yeah.
However, you have there a local wiggle. Or
mean,
you
this
multiply
is-
that.
It's multiplied with that, so it.
Yeah, it should be 0. If
And-
this really is 0. So let me just test this. If I just say this is just 0. I save and let's see if the arrow is gone. So just as a small sanity check.
Mm-hmm.
Sanity check.
With this-
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
And then we know there might be some, like, what I suspect is there might be a rounding issue.
Sometimes feel like this needs to show the current song name. Harder said than done, or more like kind of a hassle to do.
Mm.
I guess you could stream whatever a fretboard is currently playing. Or there was like a UI, but it was broken.
Okay, that's it. Look at this. It's gone now.
So there's a value there that shouldn't be there.
Okay, like it seems like
Wind.
Whatever this
It's
value
not set to
is,
exactly
it's not exactly
0.5.
0.5. So how is wind wiggle calculated?
I have an idea.
So wind wiggle is I just want to see how exactly it's Okay, no. Where it's called. There it is called. So, I mean, yeah, okay. Wind sway Y. And it's just in U-byte normalized.
I thought about
I know,
something
I know what the issue is. You
the
know
norm
what,
factor, right?
The problem
I
is...
thought... Okay, you talk.
So the problem is, there is no 0.5 if you normalize values. Because the maximum value is 255. And that one is 1. And there is no 0.5. That's the problem. There is no perfect 0.5 in GLSL. That actually kind of sucks. I wasn't aware of that, but yeah.
I wonder why are you converting anyway if you're reconverting in the shader? What's the point of that?
That you have to do it like that.
The reason is because it can wiggle in both ways. There are certain situations where, for instance, if it's something that's hanging downwards, it's supposed to wiggle in the opposite direction. But if it's connected at the bottom, then it should be wiggle the normal direction. So in order to be able to configure both directions, you need positive and negative values. So you
just
want to
use
be
an
able...
integer.
Yeah, we can use an integer. Or...
And divide, and then divide and conquer.
Yeah, the problem is now they are normalized. We can just say they're not normalized. I mean, this is only used by billboards, right? That's not too much work. Look, so we say it's instant wind sway. It's not normalized, it's a U-byte. And then I just say we divide it by 1.7 because that's
or is basically saying left side or the right side if the left side is false.
So what?
Someone was asking in chat what or means.
Actually,
in the context
why
of
don't we
not
just make it like a byte?
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Like, and you hide it in a.
I mean, we can't just make it a signed byte, right?
Yeah, and then you have a negative scale and a positive scale, and you know that 0 is exactly 0.5.
Yeah.
That's at least
but the sway, is the sway also positive, negative? Let's see again.
That I don't know.
I think it may not, because it has. That's kind of like always the problem, right? Oh no, wait, the sway is also negative. Well, okay, in that case, that should.
Yeah, when you use a byte, you don't need to do the times 0.5 plus 0.5.
Yeah, that's the idea. So
to answer your question, Doctor, we do the or 0 at the end because a setting can default to undefined or null, which are valid values in TypeScript, right? Undefined being the lack of a value and null being, well, set to null from somewhere.
Okay,
it's also a sanity thing. Even if the value is 0 and you say or 0, then it just takes the right side because 0 evaluates to false and then it takes the right side, which is 0 again. And so it gets a little bit weird, but JavaScript do be like that.
Okay, now we have to type wind sway, and for that we have to... Oh.
That's probably in the vertex shaders where it's Or is
no,
it?
it's not.
It's multiplied with 2 plus 1. Minus 1, I mean.
I wonder where the wind sway is.
In Wind GLSL.
Oh wait, no, wait. The problem is the wind sway. The wind sway that is specified here is not the wind sway that is given to the shader, because the actual wind sway is a value between 0 and 1. So yeah.
Yeah, so you don't have to do the times 2 minus 1.
Yeah, but now this value goes from -1 to 1, right? Oh no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Actually, it's fine, because the only thing that happens is it doesn't have like the same precision. So you can just give it. Yeah, I mean that should be fine.
I think so,
You can always think about like, okay, now it's a Vec 2, but like in the end, if we say like, oh, we need a bigger range, right?
Yeah, maybe we
then
can split it up, because in this shader we are not quite as close. So then we have 2 separate properties, and then it's fine. Okay, let's see if that actually works. Is there anything else we need to change?
I mean, what's the biggest number in a byte that we can have?
127, I think. So you have to see it like there's 127 steps.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
There's a
Yes,
shader.
zero value, 0.
Alright, I have to change the billboard. Sway, wind sway. Wind sway is bigger. This one is byte 2, right? Or no?
To the chat.
So in wind.gsl in line 102.
In wind, 102. Yes.
You see the wind wiggle times 2 minus 1.
I already replaced this one.
Oh, you already. Sorry, I didn't see that. Just wanted to make sure that needs to be written.
Okay, so
Can someone in chat please just go ahead and write a good
okay, so now this
shader plugin for WebStorm?
This doesn't seem to work because now the wind wiggle
Oh my
is
god, it's just it's one of those wiggly man in the wind, like. Do you have to change the editor too, Felix? If it is a byte now, right? Why am I stupid?
Okay, if it's no, I mean, what do I have to?
No, never mind. I'm stupid.
No, actually, I shouldn't have to change it. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't work. So
you changed it where the where it is set in with the setter.
Sorry, what? I did. Yeah, the setter is. Oh, okay. I actually. Right, yeah.
That's 0.5 plus 0.5.
That's the issue, yeah. Just set it directly, please.
Wacky inflatable arm man, yeah. Trying to sell you junk.
Actually, something that could be automized somewhat as well by the set in the set function.
What do you mean?
No, you don't want to have that kind of things in the set function to make it slower.
I mean, the set function should be as simple as possible. I mean, this code in general should be as simple as possible. You can always add more methods. That's always for free. I mean, if you add a separate method to this, that's okay.
Or you say you just give it the prepared value in the correct format already,
basically
outside the setting.
Yeah. Right, we fixed it.
I'm just thinking if you could just what Felix changed here, if it that could be done easier.
Okay, so this one is nice.
Alright, Kovac, nice. Let's just it's enough if it's for GLS. So just give me a good experience. Like I want highlighting on the common functions. Where the fuck is Floor not highlighted in?
Yeah, exactly.
In my plugin. Who wrote this and then didn't make it a GitHub project so I can at least fix it?
Yeah, exactly.
I try to find it. There's like an old version that is. Holy shit, that's business code. That is. Ugh. Seeing this code like made me feel like 30
Hi.
years older.
The nice bird grass. So many
yes.
birds. Yeah, we added terrain, so the sounds are still not there, but technically it works.
See the stamina bar flashing very slightly? Slow down the animation and look how fucking stupid that little blue flash is. That you don't see probably.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, nice.
It's very faintly blue.
Cool.
Oh. And you can't just make it white and too white, too like opaque, because then it looks like because we use alpha transparency to fake some anti-alias in the bar's outline. So if you just
red arrows.
add more color, those outline colors just get brighter and brighter, and you suddenly see a thick border that you shouldn't see. Nice. Twitch is holding better up than Discord, at least. But still, bitrate.
Yeah, I'm glad I found the fix for the red arrow thing. That's also an error that could have come up in a lot of places.
Yeah, it's one where the power of a negative value is just undefined.
Yeah, and
undefined is always great.
It basically returns a black color in that case. But in real math, you can take the power of a negative number. That's perfectly reasonable, but in GLSL, for some reason, you can't do it. You have to take the absolute, and then you can probably multiply it with the sign of the original value.
First of all, Memosh. Alright, Genshin stole it from Nier A Tomato. That's how you pronounce that, by the way. But anyway, it's a technical reason and a cool reason. First of all, it just looks cool when it like fades away and swoops up at your back. And since you have weapon switching, we just thought of a way that makes sense for multiple weapons, and you don't want to have them on your back all the time, right? And
I mean, yeah, like part is also just so we don't have to deal with having a run animation with each weapon. So that was kind of like, so we save a little bit of animation workload. Okay, so barriers, at least the graphics are working. But now comes the interesting part where I will implement a new entity, which is the barrier entity, which will use a scalable prop, and then I want to work on some effects and want to see if I can make the bar appear in a certain way. This will be interesting because the idea is that first the pulse should appear and then the barrier should appear. And that's actually a very neat way to make this work. I'm just thinking if I even need to create a custom entity. Maybe I don't. Actually, now that I think about it, why do I even need? I could just create a special effect. So first what I have to do, and that's now the ingenious part, because if you look closely as the weapon of the player, Let me show the game again. Where was I? Here, scalable props.
Oh yeah, Fix, you can also zoom in now, and the stamina bar zooms with you.
Oh.
Which we did on stream, and was 2 hours of work too, because we
This one, you
we
mean?
couldn't
that,
figure out you cannot give your UI a width and a pivot and expect it to scale correctly if you zoom in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the stamina bar didn't zoom in, and after a while we figured out why that was.
Oh, okay.
Because we have, like, the UI system is still running on top, right? It still tries to align your UI.
Hmm.
And when you zoom in, it tries to align it still to the screen size, but you scaled it in, so if it has a width and a height, it shifts it ever so slightly to the left. It's a weird working of different systems.
Yeah,
But we
you
got
have to
there.
be careful about the pivot when you use a UI that is zoomed. Like, I know for the HP bar, like the HP bar is also like a UI element, right? So from enemies and all that. So I think I just had to make sure it's always in the center. But then again, like
yeah, exactly. Like if you just make sure that the HP bars and everything that should be scaled doesn't have a width and a height.
Yeah.
In the UI element, and then
Anyway,
it's fine.
what I wanted to showcase is look at the weapon, exactly what's happening when I use it in slow motion.
Yes.
So the nice thing is here we implemented some new stuff where we can actually fade in parts of a figure. This one is, the funny thing is, this is actually an added figure, right? The player is one figure and the hammer is an added figure. But it's not what we can actually hide and show. It's not about what figure, but it's how you annotate the figure. And just to show this...
Internet is crashing.
What? No, please.
No, I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah, he's here.
it's not me.
Maybe it's me.
Yeah,
Could be me.
Yeah, I
This
can
was
hear
thinking.
everyone fine.
finally. I was just
It's you.
hoping... I mean, recently I didn't have any problems with internetly, so it seems that they kind of managed to fix things. Finally.
Seems fine, yeah.
Okay. Ah, damn it, where's the player?
So many files.
Need some close all tabs options or something like this.
Oh yeah, let me.
Right.
Good thing you mentioned that. I put it on my list. I put it on my
Okay.
list.
That's
like
true.
right click, close all other tabs or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
this. This would be amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like what we can do is you can now annotate each node to be of a certain part. Like by default it's always part 1, but here for instance the headgear has part 2. And what we did for the weapons is that we just said that the weapons have... Actually, they're part 1 here. Never mind. That apparently is not important. It's
Yeah, I think it was
here.
just me. The internet is back on my place.
All right. Right. So we just annotated that the weapon node is of part 7, and that's how I can say that only the weapon glows, and not the player, even though it's the same entity really. Like it's an entity using 2 figures. The weapon figure and the figure of the player itself. And by giving each of the nodes inside the figure a different part, I can only hide and show a part of the figure. And that's what I want to use now for the barrier. Because in the barrier, where's the barrier? Okay, let me close a bit of stuff here. Need to clean up.
So chat is starting a conversation on stamina and if it's needed.
Yeah. I wanted
Maybe-
to.
It is.
Yes,
It is.
I agree. It should be.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
we
maybe
don't
we can
don't use it
explain
for
a little bit.
attacks.
Mhm.
Yeah, like stamina is definitely needed as a balancing mechanic, right? So in our game, it's first of all, it's not needed for attacks. You completely fine outside of combat, even though right now it isn't the case. Stamina will simply not be consumed. There's currently missing a little bit longer third dash too. That kind of is your longer dash and has a little bit more recovery. But yeah, in a fight, you don't want to have infinite dashes, right? You want to kind of balance that, and also
I mean, the
we want
truth
to
is, Crosscode had the same. Crosscode didn't have infinite dashes, and it didn't have infinite guarding. There were guard breaks, and Crosscode had this thing there where you dashed too long, you were just doing those slow spins, and players didn't notice. So stamina really is just a way of saying we now make it more transparent. How much more you can dash and how much more you can use guard. That's really all, I think. So
right. And the difference is you can
Connected, right?
It's
you
connected.
can't dash.
Bar.
You can't. Yeah, it's connected. You can't dash while you don't have stamina, right? So there isn't even an animation, and because you have a UI, you immediately know, all right, I can't dash because I don't have any stamina.
Yeah.
But you can always do a parry, at least. Your guard will break if your stamina bar is hit. Like when an enemy hits you while guarding, it takes a little bit from the stamina bar. And when you like get hit while guarding in such a way, then it breaks, right? There's still. I already have ideas on how I want to animate that. That's why I added this critical HP dramatic effect, because I wanted to test. How does it look if I slow down for a long time?
Usually
for
looks
like a
very
second.
cool.
It looks like we did this on stream.
But actually, I already noticed a little bug, but that should be easy to fix. But when you die in the last hit, it slows down, and then it slows down when you respawn. But it should be easy to fix.
Yeah, and there will be more effects to the dashing and everything, right? This is just the bare implementation, like the feature, basically. So there will be probably effects around Juno. There will be an effect that denotes you, hey, I have full stamina again, so you can even disable the stamina bar and just rely on the effect.
An effect too when you have enough stamina for your dash again.
I mean, yeah, you can dash the moment you have any stamina back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the way it works is that.
Stamina, but that's fine.
I mean, that's something we are still experimenting with, but the idea is that when you use dash with your stamina going empty, you do a dash, but it has like a slightly longer recovery. So that means you can still dash at least once, but you will not be able to move very quickly after that. So there's a little bit of punishment if you just dash around carelessly. So if you really want to be kind of like act most efficiently, you should make sure not to deplete your stamina. But you know,
I can already see a new game plus modifier where you don't have stamina,
and you can dash as much as you want.
No, you only can dash once, and you always have the slowdown, and you always need to guard perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, essentially the dash will feel kind of like I think some games have this kind of thing where you dash and then you do like a roll, right? So I was thinking something along those lines, and the difference will be that there will be like a very short delay after that, so you cannot immediately keep running after that. So there's a little short break after the dash, and you will not be able to quickly attack after that to just cancel the whole thing. Yeah.
Old man stamina, exactly.
But yeah, it's, like, again, this is actually just theory right now. So, I mean, as with everything, we need to implement things and see how they work. So that's currently just the idea. Because right now, with the stamina, even if it's empty, you can dash every once in a while. It almost feels a little bit too forgiving. That's what's... Actually, no, like, with the new delay, actually doesn't feel too bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, yeah, I would wait until... you have we have that final dash and see how that feels.
Yeah. Because
then obviously you always have stamina will already recovering while you are recovering yourself, so it will feel a little bit better. So you could do one roll right? And then you need to recover, and then you do another because you're hectic.
Essentially, what happens is if you just keep dashing, your final dashes will just lower in frequency. So, like, you will not quickly stick. There will always be a short pause between the dashes, but you can keep dashing. And if you don't time it perfectly, you might be hit when the attack hits you during this short break, right? But it's not like you can't do anything. So I have a feeling this probably won't feel too bad. Like, I think it's no comparison to Dark Souls games and Elden Ring, because like I think the big difference is you don't use stamina for attacking. So in fact, whenever you attack, your stamina will just regenerate, and that's essentially it's just about not being able to dash all the time. That's really the main reason.
Yeah, and as Felix said, also having it be more transparent. You know how a guard break is happening because your stamina bar was low, right? And also, like, we're experimenting with invincibility frames and dashing and making that more visible. So like, all right, now I like barely dashed out of the way. The same is true for parrying, right? Parrying now really recoils the enemy back and has a little bit of a effect. Felix, you can show that if you want. I don't know if we ever showed it.
The parrying, yes.
Yeah, if you parry.
Let me see if I manage to parry an enemy.
It's definitely not the same timings as with the hedgehog, so...
I mean, it's much more forgiving now, right? So...
Okay, there are currently 10 frames of...
That's not the first time, obviously. So, there we go. I think the sound is missing. The sound actually makes a huge difference.
A recoil animation on Juno, an effect, and a sound that is definitely still missing. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, you can see like there is like more feedback on that, right? Whereas in crosscode, like a tackle attack from an enemy, except maybe from a hashtag, but lots of tackle attacks would just go through Leah. And we're also thinking about making projectiles be parryable. Certain projectiles, probably the normal colored one. Yeah, like something is weird with the shader die, right?
Yeah, I just wonder. It kind of looks like lighter rendering doesn't work. It's kind of like, because it's just entirely going red, even though it should be added. I just wonder.
Oh yeah, Fright Guys. She does it with her hand. Basically, she absorbs the impact and forces it back on the enemy. That is kind of the idea. It's very inspired by Stranger of Paradise, which I still think did an amazing job at having a cool counter feeling. And a sound, they also had a sound and a little zoom in that definitely sold the effect.
Let me check something. Yes, oh god, of course, I forgot to reverse some debug thing in shader. Let me fix that real quick.
Alright, yeah, see, it's like, it's not really adding.
It's just two lines. I commented out and I forgot to add them in again.
Yeah, please fix. That would be nice. For some reason, it's actually so nice to have those really bright pluming effects, and I'm missing them already.
Yeah. It's not multiplied with brightness. That's the reason.
Yeah.
Let me just double check if it works now.
Guys, when using NVJS, is there any way to protect your assets? There is, definitely. You can use the typical zipping, right?
Okay, but just to be sure, Flora, just a second.
Yes.
This is about lighter, not brightness, right? Because lighter doesn't seem to have any impact.
It's two things. It's the brightness and the dest amount. I don't know what that is exactly. It's not added.
Yeah, the dest amount is, I think, the lighter thing. That's a lighter thing. Yeah.
I commented out because I was trying to find out if the hue shift is making something break. When I fix the arrows.
Something is weird. Though.
Oh, something. By the way, I still want to change is right now the grayscale shader. I implemented it in tone mapping, which makes it so that the effects also get grayed out. But I still want to try if I can do it via the climate. Just have an override value there or a multiplier value that you can insert and then see how that looks, because then the effects still have colors, you know, and it could pop more. So I'm not sure, but
okay, never mind. Sorry, I was just thinking, why is it not just 100% color? But that's because the graphic itself has an alpha. That's why. I'm sorry. Yeah. It all makes sense now.
But anyway, yes. To the question that had Fiddle, you can pack files, but it's like a fool's errand, as Chet already pointed out. Like, people will always find a way, because you need a way to unzip your files, right? And you could create the most elaborate system of private public keys, but someone will find out, because somewhere in your code you need that key, right? And if we find it, we can unzip your data. So I personally feel like, why would we try to stop that? Like, people are not stealing from us, they just want to mod, right? Most of the time.
Most of the time.
And yeah, I mean, you can stop those people that obviously want to steal or want to pirate your game. Though I still argue a lot of people...
I pushed it.
Nice.
A lot of people probably pirate because they just don't have the money, you know? But they still want to play video games. And I'm sure a lot of us can sympathize with that.
Or they are like, oh, I want to try it as a demo or something. That's also some people. Then again, we usually offer a demo that is even free. So.
Yeah. And we are blessed enough that we have a community honestly says, yeah, guys, here.
Need to
thanks for this experience.
Time.
We happily pay the $20.
Stop being cringe.
What?
By saying nice things about our community. No, it's true.
Yeah, DRM is just a temporarily deterrent. And even worse are
this looks good. Nice. Thanks, Flora.
Okay. No problem.
So much better.
It was my bad at... So...
I just want to mention, Felix, don't forget you didn't want to do that long.
That's true. But I actually think that I will not take that much longer. Like, we have 10 o'clock now, and I did the barriers. I just want to work on a shader effect to make them appear, but we don't have shaders to show a proper yet, right? So I need to implement this first. Scalable
show
prop.
What?
An effect that you can use to show a prop when it appears. I think that's shouldn't be too much work to implement, because we have the same thing for props. Show fix and hide fix.
Golden Frying Pan, I was the same. When I was broke, I used to pirate or get like games from friends, maybe. But since I made my own money, I try to buy it as much as possible, buy my games, and also like stream or watch movies legally as much as possible. Only when they make it impossible for me, then I might.
To be honest, in that case, I just don't watch it. No form of media is worth for me going through the hoops of watching a 4080p movie. Like we live in a, like, at least here in the city, I can watch 4K streaming, right? I can't go back, man. That's too good. That shit is just fire.
But the human eye can't see the difference.
The human eye has infinite resolution.
Oh, not infinite, I'm sure. No, but the thing is more
Technically,
like...
it has, because every small movement is a shift that the brain can interpret as
Yeah, it's true.
more pixels being added, and it fills the blank.
I mean, the problem is more on the other side. If you have like, for example, if you're an anime watcher, then at some point it doesn't really matter how much your resolution is, because the anime isn't that detailed anyway, or like frame
Yeah,
rates.
anime is 720p, the highest I see, and I think that's fine for drawing and stuff.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Like when you see a Marvel movie in 4K, that's definitely
it's a difference. It's a massive difference.
Because like you see the post editing in those movies heavily. It looks like JetBrains will switch to VS Code-like UI in the next versions. Yeah, they actually have an IDE currently that you can already download that is very much inspired by that. I think that was always the goal, to overhaul the UI they had in WebStorm. I mean, it is a very old UI look, I would say.
Like it.
And like the most that will add is more padding around everything and a bold font.
No, my precious space.
More precious. You were the ones who always said
That's
I
true.
like padding.
I'm not saying that's me saying this. Okay.
That's me. Yeah, I'm more like my space. But it's okay. Like it's not that much space, right?
So,
What was the JetBrain thing called that they had? No, that wasn't it.
okay, let's
this
see
really
if
cool-
hiding and showing of scalable props actually works. Drum rolls.
Oh, by the way, since
Hiding doesn't
there's
work.
not too much-
No. Hmm?
since there's not too much time left, we maybe can talk a little bit about our cross week.
Yes, I
Yes.
mentioned that before, and you had to
was
derail it
embarrassing.
into Gamedev.
But for example, we actually met Sibylle in person the first time.
Yes,
Yeah, that's a
it was
great.
awesome.
that was really nice.
She's a really, really sweet, nice, great, talented person.
I think she fit into our crew very, very well. That's
Yeah, I think she had a lot of fun.
yeah.
She
Yeah,
was,
she has a lot of our humor.
yeah,
Yeah.
very important.
Shenanigans were had.
Barrier. Mm.
Yes.
Okay.
And I also improved Felix's web experience a bit again.
By making his default browser dark mode.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that's a good idea actually. I should do that next time. No, more by adding great bookmarks to his bookmarks.
Wait.
Mhm.
So
Oh
how do
no,
you like-
does disabling while on top? This doesn't work anymore, does it?
we also
I
did
messed
a lot
up.
of good things.
I broke the floor switch.
What? What? Felix, no! My precious floor switch.
Hmm.
What did you do?
My floor switch. My immersion.
My immersion. Move free speech. Yeah, and we got a lot of stuff done on Crossweek. Yes, we got a lot of thingies, and we did it.
So I actually I got stuff on. Have you actually showed the new improved HP bar?
We have
Totally
definitely
not
seen it.
inspired by a Disney and Square Enix owned IP.
I mean, people definitely saw it before, but the question is, did they actually realize it's different?
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, Sibylle is, or Nom Oroko, is our, I think our newest member almost. I don't know. One
Not
of our
our
new
newest member, but
Yes, yes.
one of a new member for the project for sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's doing concept art.
And probably also mapping when we get to that. She also did like maps for prototype and like had an interest there, so
Yeah, and
definitely
just
gonna involve her.
and in general, like everyone else, like general input to stuff.
Hmm. That's right. I'm sorry, I'm distracted.
All
I
good.
don't-
And I want to say we didn't burn anything. I think. I mean,
so.
we grilled once, and smoke went into our flat, but that just happens because of the wind.
Yeah.
Something else happened. We all got spooked one night at 3 a.m. and we all woke up.
Not me.
Oh, that.
Not
I
you,
sleep. I
because you
slept
weren't
like a
there.
baby.
I believe that. But yeah, there was a loud bang in the middle of the night. Most, if not all of us woke up in the night. And we were wondering what happened.
Loud banging was coming from mine and Thomas's room. It was very
Yeah,
spicy.
I thought it was a thunder at first.
Mhm.
Because I was also seeing flashes of light. I thought were lightning. But actually that was my smoke alarm. That was blinking.
It was a very bright smoke alarm.
Yes. So when I realized that, I thought, okay, someone just smashed the door on accident. Not smashed, but how do you say that?
Oh, good question.
Breaking
closed.
and entered.
Closed the door with too much
Right.
force.
So, okay.
But that wasn't it at all. Actually, Hannah, you can explain what happened.
I can even I can maybe even show a photo if it uploads from my phone probably. Oh yeah, I should maybe.
Guys, look at
Activate.
this. Effects actually already work on scalable props.
Ooh, nice. Awesome.
So that's
I knew this.
You knew this, okay. But now comes the impressive thing. Hopefully, if I make this work. So my goal is now to make it work that the poles appear first and the barrier appears a bit later, because we will have certain effect on how those barriers appear. So let's see if I can make this work.
Mhm.
Okay, puzzles.
Okay. Hannah, the stage is yours.
Yes, I'm just preparing visual material to actually show you. But anyway, it was basically I was sharing a room with Thomas T3, our sprite artist, and later also Freeze, another concept artist. But at that point, Freeze wasn't there, so it was just Thomas and me. And in the middle of the night, I'm just damn it. Where's my? Just want to open it with paint or something.
So,
Yes, there was a very loud noise. See, and I was basically waking up, and I just looked into every direction, and I didn't understand where the noise came from because it was dark. See, it was like middle of the night, and I was like, oh, I guess the window like smashed closed or something. So then I just went back to sleep, and I saw that the same happened to Thomas, who also woke up, was panically looking into every direction, but we both went back to sleep, and we didn't really realize what was happening. But
Yeah.
then the next morning,
it was actually a burglar. No, it wasn't.
yeah, no, I can
But imagine.
I can show it now. Felix, look in Discord. Maybe you can see.
Look in Discord. Oh yeah. Let me show this. This happened.
There was some weird door that went to some how you say it,
Attic.
Dachboden.
Some
Yeah,
little attic.
to some attic where you basically store a bit of stuff. There were like some old papers and like ordners ordners with folders,
Folders.
right? Folders and files and stuff were stored there. And this door thing apparently wasn't really solid. It wasn't really connected to the wall properly. It just fell out of the wall in the middle of the night. For no apparent
Gladly,
reason.
no one was hit or hurt by it.
Yeah,
but
it could have been.
it could have happened.
It could have happened.
Because it's also right above the door, so it's almost like these traps with the bucket on the on top of the door.
Yeah, right. I mean, and you can imagine if something as solid, because it's solid wood, falls down from that height, and just on the middle of a wooden floor. Of course, it makes a lot of noise. It's like, what the fuck is happening? And apparently, they also heard that in the floor below us, in the other rooms. So yeah, that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
So that was nice.
Yeah, it was extremely confusing. And we only realized the next morning what actually happened, because obviously we saw it when it was bright again. But they were like, "Oh, I guess that fell down." And then later, the house lady, I'm just gonna call her the house lady now, told us that it was the fault of someone else.
Oh.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, somebody said, they wanted to add like some connection, but then they argued, it's probably gonna be stable enough. But apparently not. But
Good
we
enough,
also
yeah.
got like in more pleasant news, we also got visited by a cat, so that was
Yes.
also
Yes,
nice.
we got a very nice visit. 2 visits from that cat actually.
Yeah.
Maybe you can show a picture of that as well.
pictures? Let me see if I
Maybe you
can-
can send one in Discord and then I can forward.
Yeah, I will.
I actually my Discord uploads are extremely slow, so I would rather do that in Telegram.
Yeah,
I can also show it in Telegram, but maybe Hannah can upload in Discord.
Yeah, I'm on it right now. I'm just sending them onto my desktop. Let's see. Let's hope that I don't show any Pantsu, because we are not one of those developers that put Pantsu first. Gonna.
Look,
Okay,
guys, it's already working. Look what I just did. I made an effect that fades in first, and then the weird head thing.
Nice.
That's because, like, here I defined a part to say that this alpha thing only is valid for the second part of the figure. Now, if I use this, let me just make height 2, where it's like the opposite. Where just wait 0.5 seconds. And I say
But yeah, we also were really close to a lake, which was really nice to walk around
Lots
that
of
a few times. And in general, the weather was nice, the nature around there was really nice, a lot of greens, and like all the houses had little gardens. Very small gardens, but they were very diverse in the plants and colors they had.
Yes.
okay, here's the cat. Let me show you our visitor of Cross Week. It was like I saw her in the morning, just standing here at the door. Well, not exactly, to be fair. Like, she was in the garden, but she was like meowing, and
you could say she was making her way downtown.
She was actually very politely waiting in front of the door, and she actually, I think she was waiting to make sure she was really allowed to enter or something.
Male cat.
It's a vampire cat.
Yeah.
Yes, most orange tabbies are male cats.
Yeah, it's also because it only has 2 colors.
Okay.
Male
Yeah.
cats can have 3 colors. Mepu has 3 colors.
Oh, nice.
What colors? White and orange and
Black. His nose is black.
what is black?
His nose. He has a patch of blackness there.
Huh.
Anyway, yeah, that also happened at Crossweek. Yeah, was a very nice cat.
I posted another cat picture.
No, I will ignore those cat pictures, but not this
I
one.
actually posted another real cat picture,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
like
yeah, that one. It was
It's like-
speedlining, motion blurring.
yeah, it's it's so great. I for some reason I just it reminds me of this great George Lucas meme picture. That's one of my favorite
That one is
photos
nice.
of all time.
Yeah, that one is great.
And also, what happened as well? Yes, the cat was great, and there was also something else that was really amazing. That was one of the best things that basically happened at the entire Cross Week. We went to Korean barbecue.
Oh yeah,
That's
we did.
true.
Yeah.
That was
That was really good, but that was not
That
the
was
good
good,
part.
yeah.
The great part was our travel to the Korean barbecue, and we were subjected to the great passion of football fans.
Always a pleasure.
How they passionately destroy public transport, so we have to walk.
Yes, that was very good
Was-
for our health. They were really looking out for us.
Yes.
So
I shared some more pictures in the WhatsApp group.
okay, look at this, guys.
We have a WhatsApp group.
First the bars, then the other
Nice.
thing.
Wow.
Wing, 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 wing.
All right. By the way,
I'm actually
the worst.
really
Sorry, go
impressed
ahead,
that this works perfectly fine if I just interrupt the thing. Look at this. It's actually me.
Oh yeah, yeah,
perfect.
you're right. Everything is going to be daijoubu. But anyway, I just wanted to say to that Korean barbecue thing, the worst thing about it was that I had to walk home 30 minutes in the after crowd. I walked with the right, like my city won the soccer match, so obviously everyone was drinking beer and being the worst human pieces of shit they could be.
That's
As is custom in Germany when your team wins and you basically trash the city. And I had to walk with them, and none of these plebs wore masks.
Labs.
No,
That was anxiety, man. I hated every moment of it, and
Yeah.
this was the shortest way. And even if I took the tram, right, it would be the same time because I had to wait.
Yeah. When we tried to on our way there, we tried to take the tram, but the drunk football people actually pulled the alarm stop, or what, emergency stop,
emergency break,
Yeah,
I think it was. or
basically.
something.
emergency brake.
As they were leaving the train, I think. Or
as
I
they were
don't know.
leaving the train.
Yeah.
So of course that extremely delayed us, and that was
Basically, the bad part about it was that that action basically broke something in the electronics or something, or put it out of commission for some time. Not just that train. It basically puts that entire train line out of commission because some electronics failure happened because of that or something. Because they couldn't fix that. So yeah, so we basically had to walk the rest of the 30 minutes or something.
Another advantage of living in Trier, our football team is shite. No one watches their matches. I wish that was the same in Saarbrücken, but apparently Saarbrücken football is good enough for some crowds of fans taking the train on certain days and being very, very loud and annoying.
The thing is, Felix, it's always relative. If your football team is, even if your football team only plays in like the third highest league, then they can still cause great enthusiasm.
Great damage to my tax money.
That too.
It's all relative, right? So
all relative. No,
yeah,
because they can be successful by their standards, and then fans are still pogging out.
Pogging out.
Typing poggers in chat.
They all took an overdose on copium.
Copium.
By the way, yesterday there was football finale as well, right?
Yeah.
I heard some fireworks, but it was actually pretty quiet after that.
That one was between
Champions League,
Real
I
Madrid and Liverpool. I actually know.
Yeah,
about that.
and they have like, and the ones that won, I think it was Liverpool, have like a really big German player.
I think it was Madrid actually won, right? Real Madrid did win this one.
Okay, maybe that. Yeah, you're right. I mixed them up. It's basically
But
the same city.
That was actually I have to say it was kind of pleasant yesterday because it was only at 10 p.m. Some fireworks for I don't know, maybe half an hour, and then it was quiet again.
It wasn't a German
I'm
team.
fine with that, especially on a Saturday.
They just celebrated that the Champions League finale was there, and that.
Yeah,
that was it.
But like other days where we had still people, what is Hooper?
What?
Honking in the streets at 3 a.m. in the middle of the week. That was horrible.
Oh yeah.
It was basically Goose Game.
Okay.
Hong Kong.
So barriers are pretty much finished. I didn't even have to create a custom entity. I may even add still implement a custom entity just to kind of like tweak things a bit more in detail, like so you can actually move through them as they're hiding. So that's something you might want to be able to. But
They definitely want to say that the moment that the thing gets through, you want the collision to go up.
That's already the case. But the opposite is not the case. So let me move this here over so you can see it better. So the moment it's activated, I cannot jump over it. So, but the opposite is not true too. So like when it's hiding, you also want it to, you want to be able to go through it immediately. So it just feels nicer. But yeah, maybe we can add an option for that for scalable props actually. So that might be an option.
Hey.
Yeah.
For the last few minutes, do you wanna just play some and show? Maybe you can fight the blue enemy again.
I can fight the blue hedgehog, sure. Let's do that.
Maybe
Now
in
with-
full screen for the complete experience for the viewers.
And I will try to use guarding.
Oh yes.
There we go. Actually, some details that we didn't really show off that you might not see immediately, but there's a lot more effects when you hit an enemy. Like, let me show this in slow motion. When you hit an enemy, they're actually skewing a little bit, they're shaking a little bit. And there's now 2 hit animations, which actually kind of correspond to the direction where the enemy is hit. This looks nice now. Okay. Now this is the most difficult fight of the prototype. Let's try this one. Perfect music, thank you. Ah! Okay. Too slow. Whoa! Oh my gosh, I'm almost dead.
That's a really cool effect when you do critical.
Oh my gosh, I almost died
Yeah,
there.
especially like you really see Juno go big-eyed.
Yeah, like I'm not sure that will stay, at least not to that extent. Even though,
I like that. It's a
it's a little bit funny and, you know.
Yeah,
I'm
I
healed.
know. You know.
You know, it's funny. Funny you. Okay, here we go. They can. Let's see how this whole thing plays with stamina now. So. Okay. I was hit there, but that was... Okay, this one was hit because of stamina.
Yeah, now you have to think. You can also parry, don't forget that.
I'm too bad at parrying. And dead.
By the
So
way,
much
what
for
is
that.
the parry button? I don't actually know.
It's R
R, right.
and L1 on the controller.
I can do that though.
It's definitely easier to pull off on a controller.
Yeah, it's
But you
always
cannot
good
actually.
when
Can you
had-
also parry the blue head check? I don't think so, right?
Technically it should work. I mean, it's the same as I don't have any like reactions or something in the action. It's like purely on tackle, I think, right? On the attack force. Unless you made the attack unblockable. That could be the case. Nice dodge, nice dodge. It's good that we like have that early now, the free dashes again, because then we don't over design bosses where you can dodge infinitely, right? But we design the attacks such that you can dodge out of them.
I mean, honestly,
sometimes.
the problem really is that it's my habit of just dashing multiple times because I always did this in crosscode. And you cannot easily do this here now.
No boss bar, not yet. We'll still get that.
Yeah,
Today,
the
don't
boss bar
worry.
will be added.
I mean, there is a boss bar right over the enemy.
And as you can see, we RD is already working on all kinds of bars.
Yeah, bars, UI. The what also will happen is the status UI this time around will by default dynamically fade away if it isn't needed. Oh, are you getting hit now? No, okay.
Hey!
Get
got
hit.
it.
Yes, low HP effect again. Dude. Like imagine a red corner effect, right? That's throbbing. Maybe maybe the
Nice.
background music gets like a low pass filter added.
Yes, yes, we can do that.
Bird grass. Okay, so I think that's all for our stream for today. We finished the barrier, more or less. I mean, at least the basics are working. Yeah, it's a bit too long. That's better. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Alright.
somebody asked open beta when? We don't know yet, and we will not
We'll have
start
a
with an
closed
open
beta.
beta. That will be a closed beta more than an open beta.
There will definitely be something to play, but we'll want something for you when we have something to play that is more than what we did in Crosscode. More like replayability in terms of like early access, you know, where you just play to a certain part of the story and then it ends.
Yep.
Right, by the way, guys, I'll be going now. It's past 10. It's past my prime time.
Yep. The stream
so I
ends
will-
for me now as well. So
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I guess thanks everybody for watching, and hope
Yeah,
to
thanks,
see
everyone.
you again for the next stream. And yes, like we will keep working on Project Terra, so eventually there will be a complete game, hopefully. So I guess until then, right? Bye
Until
bye.
then, bye bye, everyone.
Stop stream.